Hey guys, so your lesson today is going to be on subtracting fractions that are positive and negative. But before we do that, let's review how we subtract integers. I'm just going to zoom in so you can see. Okay, now remember, when we take the circle, we're going to drag it over the second number and whatever is attached to it. Okay, if you see a double negative, then that makes that second number positive. So we're going to rewrite that as 10 plus positive 6, and that's going to give you 6. Okay, now remember, if you don't understand this way, you can do keep 10, change subtraction to addition, and change negative 6 to positive 6. Okay, so let's drag. Okay, for this one, I only see one negative, a single negative, so that means it's going to stay the same. So I got negative 14 plus negative 27. And that gives me negative 41. Yeah. Okay, do it again. Drag. And we're always looking at that second number because that first number stays the same. Okay. So in this circle, I see a single negative, so that means it's going to stay the same. It's going to stay negative. So 40 plus negative 37. And you got to remember your integer rules. If they have different signs when you're adding, that means you have to subtract to find the answer. Okay, so it's going to be 3, and then you have to ask yourself, which number will you have the most of? I will have the most of positives. I'll have more positives because there's 40 positives, so my answer is going to stay positive. Okay, drag this down. Can make it bigger. I see a double negative, so I'm going to rewrite. Negative 52 stays the same, plus positive 16. Okay, so for this one, I see that I have a negative and a positive number. So when the signs are different, you're going to subtract. So you're going to subtract 52, take away 16. That gives me 36. Now go back and ask yourself, what do you have the most of? Well, I have more negatives. I have more negatives, so I'm going to highlight that. So I should have a negative 36. Okay, last one. I have a single negative, so that means it stays the same. The only time you're changing it to a positive is when you have a double negative. Think about double negative gives you a positive result. I don't not like him. That's 2 negative, which means you do like him. Okay, keep that in mind. A double negative means a positive result. Also, you can keep doing change if you want. Keep the first number the same, change subtraction to addition, and change that second number to whatever the opposite is. Okay, so here I have 2 negatives, so they have the same sign. If they have the same sign, I add. So you get 158, and they're both negative, so you keep the negative. Okay, going on to slide 3. Let me zoom out so we can see. Okay, so we're adding fractions. So when we're adding fractions, what method do we use? We use the butterfly method. So we're going to drag our butterfly over the problem. Okay, now you might have to have some pencil and paper out, or you can just open a text box. So when I'm multiplying, or in the butterfly wings, you multiply. So you get negative 20 on this side. Let me make it a little bigger so you can see. Negative 20. Okay, because I multiply 4 times 5, and I'm just going to copy this box. Whoops. Copy. Paste. Move it over here. And this side I get 7 times 3 gives me 21. And you can also do Control C, Control V, and it will copy and paste for you. And 7 times 5 is 35. Okay. Well, now you can rewrite on the top. You should have negative 20 plus 21. Well, what does that equal? Are the signs different or the same? They're different. So what do you do when they're different? You subtract. It's going to be a 1, and it's going to be positive 1 because 21 is bigger. And your denominator is 35. So you can type your answer as 1 over 35. And you're just using that slash. That's the question mark button. And if you want, you can make this bigger so you can see. 1/35. So 1/35. Okay? All right. So for this one over here, remember, if you have a mixed number, you have to change it to a improper fraction. And remember, you do that by multiplying the whole number by the denominator, which gives us 10, and then adding in the numerator. So now we should have 12. Let me put a box here. We're going to have negative 12 because it's negative on that side. Again, I'm going to make this bigger so we can see it. Okay, so I got negative 12. I'm just going to Control C, Control V. I'm just copying over 5, V, Control V, paste it in another box. This side stays the same, negative 7, Control C, Control V. This gives you 8, okay? Now you're going to drag this back over using your butterfly, and then you're going to multiply. So again, you can copy these boxes here. Control C, Control V. All right. Now we're multiplying. It's going to stay negative because the negative is on that side. Okay? 12 times 8 gives you, what is that? 96. And if you don't know, you could have used the multiplication chart. Control C, Control V. This gives you negative 35. And then the bottom is going to be 40. And all I'm doing is Control V, Control C. Okay? Now, they have the same sign this time. If they have the same sign, you are going to do what? Add. So 96 plus 35 gives me 131. And I'm just going to type that down here. So negative 131, that negative doesn't go away, over 40. Now, we can simplify this answer, but we're not going to just for time's sake. But you just divide 40 by, or 131 divided by 40, okay? All right, so let's go to subtracting fractions with positive and negative numbers, okay? So remember, in step 1, you're going to circle the single negative or the double negative, okay? So in this case, I circled it for you ahead of time. There's a double negative, okay? This is just an example. There's a double negative. That's step 1. Step 2 is going to be to rewrite the problem. So I got negative 1/3 plus double negative makes a positive 5/6. Then I use the butterfly. 1 times 6 gives me 6, and there's a negative on the side. 3 times 5 gives me 15. 3 times 6 gives me 18. Over here, I got negative 6 plus 15 over 18. Okay? Remember, when they have different signs, what do? We subtract, so it gives me 9 over 18. Now, you can simplify this by dividing by 9. If you don't know how to simplify, let me show you. Let's pull up a multiplication chart. Multiplication chart. Okay. Let's go to this one. Doesn't matter which one you use. Okay. So we are trying to simplify 9 and 18. What you want to do is look for 9 and 18 and see what number they have in common. Okay, so let's just start with 2. Do you see a 9 in this column? Or let's start with, start with a 2. Do you see a 9 or 18? I see an 18 but not a 9. Go to 3. I see a 9 and I see an 18. Well, let's see if we can divide by a bigger number. Go to 4. Nope. Go to 5. Nope. 6. There's an 18 but not a 9. Go to 7. Nope. Go to 8. Nope. Go to 9. Well, I see a 9 right here, and I see an 18. So that means I can divide both of these numbers by 9. So I divided by 9. Well, 9 divided by 9 gives me 1. Okay? What's 9 divided by, 18 divided by 9 gives me 2. And that's how I get 1/2. Okay? Let's do this one together. Okay? And then I'm going to let you do 6 and 7, or slide 6 and 7 on your own. Okay? So you take the circle, you drag it over. Do you see a single negative or double negative? single negative, so that means it's going to stay the same. So I've got 2 over 5. I gotta rewrite this somehow. Let's see. There should be 2 boxes here. 2 boxes here. There we go. 2/5 plus, this is negative 6 over 7. Okay. Well, now we're going to do the butterfly because it stays the same, stays negative. So let's do the butterfly. Okay. 7 times 2 gives you 14. 5 times 6 gives you negative 30, right? Because of the negative on that side. And then the bottom is 35. So we're going to move over here. 35 on the bottom. 14 plus negative 30. Make it a little bit bigger. Okay. Do they have the same sign or different signs? They have different signs. So we are going to subtract. 30 take away 14 gives me negative 16. And it's negative 16 because I have more negative numbers than 35. Okay, now for this one, again, you can check your multiplication chart and see if 16 and 35 end up in the same column, or I'm sorry, in the same row. All you're doing is going from side to side to see if 16 and 35 are in the same row, and if it is, it can be divided. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that it can't. They do not have a common factor, so this is simplified form. Okay, on slide 6, before you can do this problem, and remember, you're going to have to make these 2 boxes. Before you can do that problem, you're going to have to convert this to a improper fraction. So once you circle and you see you have a double negative, right, that's our first step, make sure you convert this to an improper fraction. So let's do that real quick. So we're going to multiply 1 times 5, that's 5, plus 2 gives me 7, and it's negative 7. And then 5 on the bottom, and then a double negative makes a positive 3 over 4. And this is the problem that you need to solve, okay? So you're going to finish slide 6 and slide 7. Slide 7, you are solving these problems and matching it with the answer using this line tool. So you click on the line tool to connect them, okay?